Oh, no. Hi everybody, sorry about that, it just glitched out a little bit and told me they couldn't connect, but hopefully you can see me and hear me loud and clear. Welcome to Friday, welcome to Darvanalee Design Studio. You can see that I'm looking a little bit better than what I was earlier on in the week. Basically, we had retreat last weekend and it was an epic weekend is the only way to describe it, but we'll get back into a little bit more of the details later in the show. So welcome everybody. I'm glad that a lot of you are joining us again. I see Katrina's here, Andra's here, Ellen's here. Hi lovelies, and thank you very much for joining us yet again. For those that are new to the channel, my name's Nicole Reed and this is Darvanalee Design Studio, and this is our weekly show that we have every week, and it's just like a little bit of a weekly vlog style live stream, and we talk about the things that we've got coming up on the channel, things that we've been doing, and the most important part of today's show is the Finish It Friday. So each week we pull something out of our UFO box and we endeavour to get it finished. And when I say we, I mean Tech Beck, and she's in the background behind the camera and she's about to say hi to everybody on the chat, and also verbally would be nice too.
Good morning everyone.
So yeah, she's on the camera today, behind the camera today, and she will be on in a little while because we're going to talk about her Finish It Friday, because anybody that watched last week would have known that I dropped her right in it and said that she was going to be on the long arm machine.
You probably saw a little glimpse of my face.
Yeah, you would have just sort of seen Beck's face go, what? What are you doing to me now, Nicole? Well, yes, I dropped her in it, and I see that Shell's joining us from New Zealand. Hi, how you going? And I'm hoping Shell Edwards, is that the Shell Edwards that used to come to my store in Kingaroy that lived over in Nanango that recently moved back to New Zealand? If it is, give me a thumbs up in the comments so I know that it's you, hun. And if it is, hi, haven't seen you for ages. Thank you very much for joining us. So, basically, I'm just going to mute my... It is. Oh, hey. Hey, Shell. How are you? So glad to see you here. Thank you very much for joining us. Haven't seen you around the social medias very much of late, so it's good to see that you're here. So anyway, we're going to dive straight into our Finish It Friday. We've got a ton of stuff to get through. Don't know how long my voice is going to hold up. It's been pretty average all week. So you will hear in one of the videos that I filmed this week that it's a little bit sketchy. So, as I said, last week we dropped Beck in it, and she was not too impressed with that, I must say. She was a little bit, anxiety went up, I can say that. She got a little bit nervous, and she was a little bit worried about it, and we went away to retreat, and she was still a little bit worried about it. Anyway, we've come back. We were super tired, and we didn't get into it on Monday like we planned to do. Tuesday like we planned to do. We pretty much sat around just looking at each other, not knowing what to do. A little bit bewildered. I was supposed to film. That didn't happen. So we left it all to Wednesday. So basically we decided that Wednesday was the day we're going to do it. We got here on Wednesday. We got sidetracked with customers and things that were happening in the other groups for the retreat and all that sort of stuff. We were putting plans in because we're crazy and have another retreat coming up in about 7 weeks' time. So
7 weeks exactly.
7 weeks exactly from today. And then, yeah, so Wednesday it didn't happen again. So Thursday rolled around. I said, right, Beck, I have to film. I got one video filmed, and Beck turned up at about 10:30. I was fighting the filming with my neighbours. They were all mowing their lawns and the garbage truck and the council workers and everything. It was just insane yesterday. Beck ended up turning up at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we got straight into it. So Beck managed to get her quilt done. We didn't get the binding done on it, and now I've lost it. I've put it somewhere.
You put it beside you.
Oh, there it is. It fell. Okay. So, hi Erica. Thank you very much for joining us today. Appreciate you being here. Alrighty, so Beck's going to come around and hold it, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a chat to her about how she felt about it. So I did film it. I did film her doing it, and it will be going up on the channel. And I must admit, she looked very relaxed on the long arm machine. So we might have a new quilter at Darvanalee Design Studio. You just don't know, ladies. Alrighty, so you hold up that end there. Alrighty. Okay, so basically what I did with Beck is I didn't want to stress her out or anything like that. So I just basically said, look, you know what? Get on. We're going to just do a squiggly line all over. So like you're doodling. And then I gave her some pointers as we were doing it. And you'll hear those pointers that I gave her. Hi, Benita. Thanks for joining us. Erica, I don't know if you've been with us before. If you haven't, welcome to the channel. And thank you very much for joining us. So Beck has just done a stipple on this to get the feel of the machine and how to hold it and the movement that she needed. So basically the tips I said to Beck was, okay, we're not going to worry about the size of your squiggly line. We're not going to worry about you know, how close it is or how far apart it is. We're not going to get hung up on anything, any of the technicalities of quilting. I just wanted her to get the feel of the machine and get the feel of hearing the sounds and the different things that go on with the machine. And I showed her for the first couple of rows and I filmed her doing that, which probably added to the nervousness. But, you know, hey,
once I realised.
But yeah, once she realised, she didn't realise I was filming at first. But we just took it nice and slow, and it didn't take her long to quilt it at all. She felt very comfortable with the machine. And anybody that has seen me teach my kids or anything like that, you would have seen, you would have heard some of the tips that I do with people and stuff like that. It just makes it easier to get control of the machine. So this is yeah, so this is up the top. So you can see up here, we'll come down a little bit. This is the top here. So you can see at first a little bit jerky. This one looks like a little spanner, which is pretty cool. That will come a little bit closer. So you can see there's some sharp points, and that is quite normal for people that first start doing stippling. Okay, I did it myself when I first started, and I knew that Beck would end up doing it as well because it's not a natural movement to get that flowy feel. Okay, you feel tight on the machine and you have to learn to relax and you have to learn to breathe. Another thing people forget to do is breathe when they get on a long arm machine. So once we got through that, you can see as Beck has gone down that we've ended up with some nice curves, and my machine's stitch regulated, so she didn't have to sort of worry about that. As she gets better at quilting and moving on, because I've got other quilts that she can practice on, basically I'll take the stitch regulation off, and then that'll be a whole new thing for her to learn. But at this point in time, Beck has done a wonderful job for her first one. Benita was saying it looks really lovely. We've got a lot of comments there saying how well you've done and all that sort of stuff. So Beck's going to jump. I'm going to ask some questions while I'm standing off camera, and Beck's going to sit down in front of the camera and she's going to tell you what her experience is about. And her face at the moment is ricocheting all over the place because she's like, how, what, why? So I'm going to get Beck to sit down. I'm going to ask her some questions and she's going to tell you about her experience.
Hello, everybody.
Okay,
I am very nervous.
Don't worry about it. They're all lovely people. They don't bite, okay? So
no, because they're on camera.
Alrighty, so I just want you to tell people how you felt about getting on the long arm machine and what your anxieties were to begin with.
I was nervous, yes. I was very nervous, just because it's such a big machine, and I know just watching you do it, it looks, I don't know,
it is a big machine. It's a contraption, and it looks tricky, and I've been doing it for a long time, so I make it look easy.
You do.
Which is, and sometimes it's not. As I said to Beck, when you get into doing it for customers, that's a whole new level of anxiety, and then that's when you realise that you actually never suffered from anxiety to begin with because you're doing someone else's quilt. So how did you find the machine? Was it easy to manoeuvre and stuff like that?
It was easy to move, and it was like, but it had weight to it, so it was easier than something light. Yeah, you could feel it had weight to it, so that made it easier to control.
Awesome. And as far as being able to see the quilt and what you were doing, it's easy to see and manipulate and everything like that.
With the different colors, it made it hard to see where I had been or where I was going.
Yeah, because we used white on white, which
Yes.
doesn't help as well. And I often say to people when they're starting to quilt, just use the same colour because you won't see your mistakes as much, and that'll just take away the anxiety of it as well. So would you recommend someone jumping on a long arm machine and having a go?
Oh, definitely worth the experience, like to give you an understanding as well, like
yeah. And what a long armor goes through.
Yes.
Beck gets a first-hand experience of my face sometimes when when I've come across a quilt that's, you know, it's going to give me a little bit of problem, and that just comes down to fabrics and you know, maybe some excess fabric in a border. It's never usually anything major. The worst one was the wedding dress one. That was all satin, which is a whole new kettle of fish, and I don't recommend that to anybody.
I found because it was paper piecing, the butterflies in those center bits was because it was just chunks of fabric. It was
so where all the seams were meeting up. It was it made a loud.
And it broke the
thread. Yeah.
A couple of times.
So that's pretty key for a lot of people that are thinking about getting into long arm machining. And it's also key for your domestic machines as well. When you come to a group of seams, so a lot of triangles coming in, or foundation paper piecing where you've got a lot of angles coming in, you can end up breaking your thread and also break your needles as well. So you do need to slow down on that, and you learnt that yesterday.
Yeah. When I got to those butterflies, I was slowing down and just watching where I was going, not to go where it was where it was meeting up.
Where all the seams are.
Yeah.
So you'll have to watch this space for more. Watch the channel. There'll be a video going up of Beck, and you'll see how casual she actually looks. So you can see how she looks like a deer in a headlights at the moment, because I've just put her on the camera. But we don't have another chair here at the moment, so that was the easiest way. Alrighty, I'll let you off the hook now. You can go back.
See you later. I'll go back behind the camera now.
Okay, so I'm back. Alrighty, so that is Beck, and it's good for people to see your face as well when you're talking about that sort of stuff. So Beck was really casual and really calm about it in the end. The thread, did your thread break, or had to rethread it? Yes, she did have to rethread it, but she actually didn't know how to, so I had to for her. Basically, that is the first time that she has ever been on the long arm machine. So I know what it's like to be thrown in the deep end. I threw myself in the deep end when it comes to long arm quilting. And the person that I was doing the class with, I asked them if I could actually use their machine, and they said yes. And I was like blown away. But yeah, it was a really good experience for Beck. It gives her a better understanding of when I'm standing up there, you know, being frustrated with threads breaking and stuff like that, because there is a multitude of things that can go wrong when you are long arming, and most of it comes down to thread breakages on especially with edge to edge stuff. Like what Beck done is a stippling. It's a free motion stippling, but it's still edge to edge, and you're going over the entire quilt. And when she was hitting those the butterflies, where did I put the quilt now? Okay, there. So I'll show you the butterflies. These are foundation paper pieced, and you can see there that there's lots of angles coming into one spot. So you can see Beck's come down, and this is further down the quilt, so she started to avoid with her stitches, which was a good lesson, because that taught her that you can come in close to a seam, but you don't necessarily have to go over it. So basically, once we broke a couple of threads on those butterflies, and I sort of let Beck go at it herself, there was one stage there she was going along, and I heard from sitting where I am right now, and my long arm machine is over there, so Beck was standing over there. Basically, I heard the thread break, and I went, "Your thread's broken," and she went, "Oh, you heard that?" And I'm like, because you become attuned to your machine and what you're doing on your machine. And because I do this for a living, I could hear that thread broke. So it was getting Beck to become tune her ear to the machine, and she started to realize when things were happening. I don't have an alarm on my machine of when the bobbin's running out. I can also hear the bobbin as well when it's starting to get empty. It rattles a little bit more, gets a little bit noisy, and then I know that I'm getting close to the bobbin running out. So I can either stop the machine, pull it out, redo the bobbin, or I, run the gauntlet and see how far I can get before it run out, which is another thing I like to do. You got to keep yourself entertained when you're doing this for a job. So yeah, so basically, she done a really, really good job. She learnt lots of stuff. She learnt how you can actually get fatigued, fatigued from the machine, like because you've got your hands in a particular position like this and you're moving your arms, so you get fatigued across the shoulders. Not as much as you do when you're doing it on your domestic machine, I must admit that. I'd rather be on the long arm than on a domestic machine and moving the quilt myself, because you just, yeah, it's just a lot easier. The quilt's all set up and you're all ready to go and you're just moving that machine and you don't have to stress about it or anything like that. So I think she's done a wonderful job. I'm looking forward to her journey with quilting now that it's started. We haven't put the binding on it. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining us. We haven't put the binding on yet. That is her Finish It Friday for the next couple of weeks, because it will take her a couple of weeks to do it, being her first one. She knows how to put the binding on the front, but I'm going to teach her how to do the blind stitch on the back. So, and for those that don't know, Beck is actually very, very new to patchworking and any sort of sewing. So it is very much learning on the job, and basically she knows how to put a binding on the front of a quilt now to do the mitered corners. We've spent a few weeks just doing that, and now she knows how to make the binding, how to do the 45-degree angle stitch on the binding. She knows how to iron the binding, put the binding on the front of the quilt along with mitered corners. So now we're up to the stage where she has to learn how to hand stitch that. I teach hand stitching that way because I don't like quilts being done with machine binding. I just don't like the look of it. I do it in a pinch, but I would rather teach Beck the traditional way of doing it. So this is just the way that I've been taught to do it, and then from there, once she's got the hang of it, I will show her different methods of putting binding on, and how to do facings on quilts and stuff like that, which is a video that I actually do have coming up very soon. So anybody that doesn't know what facing is, you'll be very educated on that, yeah, in the future, because I've actually got that. It's coming up. So yes, she is progressing very well, Benita, and she has done a wonderful job. And thank you, Andra, for that beautiful compliment. I do hope that I am a good teacher for everybody. And it's not something that I do regularly, teach people the long arm side of things, because a lot of people that I see just want their quilts done. They don't want to learn how to do that. They prefer to make the quilt tops and have me do all the finishing for them, which is great because that's kept me in a job and kept me out of trouble. Alrighty, so now we are moving on to, we know that Beck is going to be finishing this off. So this is Beck's Finish It Friday for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, so basically we know what Beck's doing for Finish It Friday, and now she has been diving, and I don't know, I've got a glimpse, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a quilt that I did
some time ago.
Yes, quite a while ago. Oh, okay. All right, I know what it is. Andre, you'll probably remember this. This is a pattern that I designed using the 5-inch slicer from Crafty Gemini. So this was one that I did for a swap, and yeah, so now I've got to quilt this. So interesting. I don't know how I'm going to quilt this. So I might end up doing this as a part of the mini quilt as well. I'll do a little bit of a class on it and how I designed it. I actually ran this as a class. It goes this way, so you've got the diamonds going down. There's 3 rows to it, and yeah, so I will have to look at how I'm going to quilt that. I'm thinking that I might actually just do around the diamonds and in ditch along the seams for that one. So yeah, that was one that I've done. Oh, that would have been 2015, 16 I did this. When did Mia come to live with us? 2016. Yes. Yeah, I did this in 2016. End of 15 to 16. So that's how long it's been sitting there. And yeah, I'm thinking the echoing around the diamonds might be a good choice. I might actually do a little bit of ruler work on the machine, and I'll Benita's saying I can now collaborate with you. She knows she knows about long arming. That's right. That's exactly right, Benita. We can do a collab together.
Let's do that.
So yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking echoing, but I might do some ruler work, and I'll just get back to to film that while I'm doing it, and I can give you some tips and tricks on how to do ruler work on the long arm. So yeah, I'll good idea. I'm happy with that, Andra. That's how I'm gonna do it. So yeah. Hey Biz, thanks for joining us. So glad that you're here today. So you would have seen that we've just put up my Finish It Friday. You might have to just catch the first 20 minutes of the replay to see Beck's lovely quilt that she done on the long arm. So that's my Finish It Friday. I'm going to get stuck into that possibly on Tuesday or Wednesday. Beck's going away for a couple of days, and I've got a couple of big quilts to get done. So I'm working all weekend, much to my children's disappointment. But, you know, when Mum goes away to retreat and it's all been about retreats, she has to catch up on work. So, yeah, so I'll be quilting after this live stream. I'm actually loading up the long arm machine and getting stuck into some quilting this afternoon, and hopefully have the 2 quilts finished by Tuesday, and then I can get stuck into some more filming. Alrighty, so what I want to know is, we know what Beck and I are working on for the next week. What are you guys working on? Leave us a comment if you're watching the live, and if you're watching the replay later on, leave a comment down below and let us know what you're working on. And as always, we will share this video over to the Facebook group and also over to our Stitch Talk group. For everybody that wants to comment in the comments below, you can add your comments there and tell us what you're working on, and all your pictures over in Facebook, because we love seeing them. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that kept the group going over the weekend while Beck and I and Paula were away, because all the moderators were away from the Facebook group. We were off playing in the mountains with our sewing machines and meeting some lovely people. So thank you very much for keeping the conversation going. I still haven't got back to everything, but I am slowly getting back to our social media and getting all those comments and having a look at all the lovely work that you're doing. So Biz is working, sewing myself on a new... Oh, okay, so you're doing yourself a top this time. Awesome. I did see your hubby's new silk top. That was absolutely beautiful. Yes. Anne's working on a mini quilt for a swap and doing tester quilts. Linda is doing the mini quilt, and she made a NCW to match a tote. Ellen's been working on her aunt's 100th birthday. Oh my goodness. Wow. Happy birthday to Ellen's auntie. That's awesome. She would be an amazing woman to talk to. She would know her stuff. Oh, yes, she would know some stuff. Wish her a very happy birthday from Beck and I. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Paula's in the house as well, the other moderator that was up at the Bunyas, and she said it was absolutely amazing. I'm guessing that she's working on her mini quilt to finish that off. Benita, she's working on Sashiko. And Katrina isn't doing any sewing because Katrina had a fall and actually hurt her wrist. So she's off to the orthopedic surgeon, I believe, tomorrow to get have a look. I'm so sorry that you've hurt yourself, hon. But you can now live vicariously through Beck and I and everybody else in the group. And yeah, as long as you can keep commenting and seeing everything that's going on, that'd be, you know, and keep us up to date with how the wrist is going. Hopefully it's not damaged too badly and you'll be back to sewing before you know it. Okay, so Paula is actually tidying her sewing area and then working on her mini quilt from the weekend. Awesome. Sounds like you're all going to be very busy over the afternoon and into the weekend. That's awesome. Alrighty. So, on to some channel news, and Ellen's just saying she's amazing, travels, drives, and cooks. Are you kidding? She's still driving? Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. You have to take if you're going to a birthday party, you need to take some footage of that and share it with the group, and so we can wish her happy birthday. That is amazing. Wow. I would love to meet this woman. Yeah. She sounds amazing. Absolutely. She is, oh wow. The driving has just blown me away. Although Brendan's grandmother, my daughter's great-grandmother, she still drives. And she's 94. She's as sharp as a tack too. Sharp as a tack. She's okay, so it's in July. Wow. So are you planning a big party for it and all that sort of stuff? Hopefully it'd have to be a big shindig for sure. It'd have to be. For 100, you'd have to get everybody. So it is Auntie Fran. Oh, she said Auntie Fran. I want Auntie Fran. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to move on to some YouTube news and group news now. As you know, it was a massive couple of weeks at Dee Dee's, and yeah, even just leading up to the retreat and even afterwards, it's been a massive, epic 2 weeks for us. We put on quite a good retreat this time. It was, well, we've put on a good retreat every time, but this time it went off. We had 19 people attended. We had 19 people complete wallets, and we had 18 people, it was 18 because 2 didn't make it.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
yes.
yeah, sorry, we had 17 people make the mini quilt. Not everybody got to the mini quilt.
18 people made it because we had our guest designer.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. The guest designer made the mini quilt as well. So, yes, it was 18 people that made it. 2 of the retreat ladies decided not to do it. They had UFOs that they wanted to get finished, which is quite fine. The projects are optional. You don't actually have to do them if you don't want to. You can bring your own stuff along. That's fine. But we do try to encourage everybody to get involved and everything. A few people were quite surprised at how many people that we have at the retreats. We have a capability of having 20 people there. We had 20 including our designer. She wasn't sewing on the Saturday, but on the Sunday 20 people were sewing. It is a big weekend. We had walkie-talkies this time that saved the feet somewhat. I'm pretty much on the go the whole time. Beck gets in and does all the does a little bit of the prep work for cooking and stuff like that. I come up and put the final touches on it, and everything flowed really smoothly. There was a lot of laughs and all that sort of stuff, but we'll get more into what we got up to a little bit later in the show. But for now, we had some exciting stuff happen while we were away at retreat regarding the channel. We actually got monetized while we were away. We came back to that lovely surprise that we had been approved for monetization on the channel. And what that means is now that you will possibly see ads pop up on our videos. So YouTube has gone through and monetized all my videos. And from this going forward, I now have the option to monetize or not. So for something that is, you know, maybe a quick look at what I'm doing or something like that, I won't have an ad pop up or anything like that. I'm still trying to navigate my way through it because it is all relatively new to me. I'm still learning how the monetization works and everything like that, but I do know that I do now have ads popping up on my channel. So if you would be so kind as not to click skip the ad and actually just, you know, maybe go and grab a cuppa while the ad's on or something like that, because, you know, every time you watch an ad, I get a little kickback from the advertisers for that. So that's super exciting. And basically, there was also something else that was very exciting that happened as well. With the monetization, that means now that we can have super chat. And if you look down at the bottom of your screen, if you're on your monitor, where you can type in, there's a little smiley face and a little $sign. Now, I am not super aware of how this actually works, but what I do know, the basic things of it, is that if you click that $sign, you donate a certain amount, it then highlights your comments. So if you've got a question that you want me to see, it'll highlight, and it'll stay at the top, right at the top of the screen of the chat, and it'll stay there for a certain amount of time. It depends on how much you donate, and that basically is just another way that I can earn money. As I said, I don't know much about it, but it's there and I'm still learning about it. But in saying that, we did go and do a little what was it, course exam thing yesterday on YouTube. It was quite funny, actually. we were watching these videos and they were telling us about monetization, so the different ways that you can earn money on YouTube. And the reason I'm talking about this is because it's new to me, and you guys are going to now see this, and I want you to be part of the experience and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, these are just things that you'll see on the channel. They're not you don't have to do it. It's just basically to help support me, to keep the channel going, and to keep it going for long term. So, okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened then. Thank you very much, Leah. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's awesome. Sorry about that, ladies. It just seemed to disconnect on me there. It says that I'm live, so I'm hoping that I am still live for you.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Big thumbs up from Beck. I don't know what happened then. My internet just decided it wasn't going to work. So I've just clicked over to my Wi-Fi. Yeah, we just had some I don't know what happened then. I'm just saying I'm back there. Thank you so much, Andra. I really appreciate that. Mwah! A big kiss to you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the congratulations. Yeah, so basically we were playing around and we were having a bit of fun, and basically we went and done this course, and I must say we completed it. I've got a letter of completion. I got 100% on it. So it just was telling us different things of way we can monetize things. So we can now do crowdfunding. We can now, that we're allowed to do, like to advertise through the channel. Not that I don't even know how to set up a crowdfunding page, but merchandise, running ads, the super chat, which you just seen there. Leah has popped up a donation there. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so basically that's all the different ways we can do it. And we went through that yesterday, and we seem to have pretty much, we know what we're doing. I've still got a lot to learn. Hopefully that'll keep me going. Having some technical difficulties this morning, ladies. I do apologise for that. It's very overcast here, and I'm thinking that's playing havoc with it. So I'm going to keep going with that. But that's the exciting news for the channel, and we're super excited. And on that note, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that has been here from the get-go, who has been here from the get-go for our lives, who has shown me so much love and support, and is also encouraging Beck to get involved more and not just hide behind the camera. So yeah, we just want to say thank you very much, because we know without you guys being here, without you guys watching our content, without you guys encouraging us to stick around, we possibly wouldn't be here. So it has been a long, hard slog for the last 12 months. As Beck and I had a bit of a joke yesterday, we've earned $1 on the channel in 12 months. So we're like living large, woohoo, living large. And so basically, we just want to say thank you so much to all our viewers and all our subscribers and all our new subscribers who are sharing with their friends and sharing our content. We really, really love you for that, and we just really appreciate you being here, and hope that you continue along in this journey, which is a little bit crazy at times, and I'm so much of a novice when it comes to this technology stuff, and Beck is helping me as much as she knows about YouTube as well. So hopefully you'll continue to be along for the ride. All right, so we do have another milestone that we are heading towards. So it is a big one, this one. It is working towards our membership entitlement. So membership entitlement means that we can actually have premium content for you guys that are long-term subscribers and stuff like that. You join for a small fee, and basically then we have premium content. So that can be videos, it can be all sorts of stuff. It's a long, long way off, and I just wanted to put it out there, and maybe you guys can help us to get seen a little bit more. We need 30,000 subscribers. We're only at 1,200, so we've got a long way to go. But it's something that Beck and I are working towards, and it just keeps us motivated and keeps us going towards that. So what we're going to ask of all our lovely subscribers and anybody that's here today or watching the replay is possibly share our content around, leave us a comment, tell your family and friends and your sewing friends about it, just so we can get seen a little bit more. And Brendan just sent you a message on my Facebook. Yeah, so basically, yeah, we just want to sort of get out there a bit more. So tell us about us, and yeah, and share our content and all that sort of stuff, and we can get those subscribers in and get up to 30,000. So that's our next goal. I mean, we've got many goals between that, but as far as YouTube goes, that 30,000 is the next big goal. He wants to know if you can pick him up after the live.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I was just going to say, just log into my Facebook on there. It's all good. So yeah, I don't know why he sent it to me. He should have sent it to you because it involves you. Sorry about that. It's just messages coming in. Alrighty. So another thing about the channel, we are super excited. It's April, and guess what? It's only about 5 more sleeps until the block of the month comes in. So block number 4 is coming in next Wednesday. That is all filmed, ready to go. I've got the last little bits of editing to do, and it will be uploaded next Wednesday, so at 11 a.m. So you make sure that you're here for that, and that way you can get stuck into that next block. I've been seeing all the blocks popping up in our Facebook group, and they are gorgeous. I really, my favorite one so far, I've actually got two. My two favorite ones so far is Rebecca Wilson's and Paula Bowie's. So those two are my extreme favorite. I really love how Rebecca's now starting to get, she's working with an ombre fabric for her background. And I must say, Rebecca, if you're watching the now or on the replay, I haven't seen your name pop up, so I'm assuming you'll see me on the replay. You're really starting to get the hang of that ombre fabric now. You've got a beautiful ombre support happening, like going out through to the edge of the block. It was absolutely gorgeous. Well done on that, because I knew that you were a little bit worried about using those colours. And Paula, I know that you were a little bit worried about the colours that you chose as well, but it's coming together beautifully. And because I know what the quilt looks like at the end, it's going to be amazing. Ladies, trust me, it's going to be amazing. Alrighty, so that's on Wednesday. We're also busy filming the next macrame one. I've just got some final touches to do on that one as well. So that is for the plant hanger, and I'm showing you just another basic block, but we'll have a plant hanger after that, so that it will be ready to go. And that's not this Monday coming, that's the following Monday. So busy getting all the filming done. And also I have started, for those lovelies that are waiting for all the hacks on the accordion pouch, I have also started on filming that one, and we've got another one going up this month. I think that's towards the end of the month. And the Bold Cozy one is also going up. And I do apologise to everybody that goes to the blog for the calendar. I missed out on getting that done before the retreat. I have got that on my list to do today to get that updated for you. So you will have a calendar there of everything that's going on. So, yeah, Benita, go back and have a look at that macrame video again. Yes, have another look. Get the hang of that knot again. Basically, you can use some embroidery floss to practice if you need to, because the next one we're actually doing another knot plus the knot that we've done. So we're going to be progressing each time like that. So the plant hanger that I'm doing will have a couple of full square knots in it, and then it will have some, I'll show you how to make the twist knots, which I don't have in front of me at the moment, sorry, but I will show you how to do the twists and how you get that, and how you've got to put it all together. Hey Catherine, have you put that sign up? Catherine, for those that don't know, Catherine Fleming is a lovely that I know from doing classes over at Nanango, and she's at work today. She works in a family business in Nanango called Fleming's Mechanics, is it? Fleming, I can't remember. I know. We just call it Fleming's.
Kath put it up what it's called.
Yeah, Kath put up what the name of your business is. We just call it Fleming's. And everybody knows who that is then. They've had a mechanic business over in Nanango since 1932, I think Kath has told me. And yeah, so basically she's trying to, Fleming's Garage. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Kath. And you've been there since 1932, is that correct? Yeah, they've been there for a long, I think it's 1933. There you go. So it is a long-term business that has been there for some time, and basically yeah, so she's joining us, and she is in the office at the moment. So if anybody's watching, don't go into the office. And boys, if you're listening to me talk, no, don't go into the office. Leave Kath alone. Alrighty, so it's really good. We've got 17 people joining us today. That's excellent. That's probably around about the most we've had so far. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that. And we've got some thumbs ups happening there too. So if you haven't clicked that thumbs up yet, hit that thumbs up button down below, and that way we'll get some movement happening in YouTube, and more people can come and join the fun. Alrighty, so As you would have heard me earlier, we were talking about retreat. I'm going to move on to retreat news at the moment. For those that are on Facebook, I haven't shared anything over on Stitch Talk yet, but Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen a lot of pictures coming up. We've got a new Instagram page for our retreats. It's DD Sewing Retreats _ between the words. Basically, that's where we'll be putting all things I thumbs up twice. Cell and laptop. Awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, so if you head over to Instagram, for all us Aussies there, that's going to be our dedicated Instagram page for the sewing retreat. So that's where the announcements will happen for all that. It just separates it from the quilting business, because it is a separate part of my business, and you know that you don't have to go through heaps of stuff to find any of the information about the retreats. We've also got our Facebook business page now. I think we've got 161 people now following that page. That will be dedicated to. So if you're on Facebook, head over there and you can have a look at all the pictures that we're putting up, and if you're on Instagram, you'll see them all there. I haven't reposted to the studio page yet, basically because I'm just focusing on those pages for the retreats at this point in time. But I will put up notices and stuff like that to steer you over there. So you would have seen that if you're in the Facebook group, you would have seen that I've shared over to the Facebook group the wallets and the mini quilts that they made. So I'm just going to grab my wallet and show you which one it was. So this was the wallet that we made. It's called the Lorna Wallet, and it gets released today, and the link is underneath this video of where you can purchase that. Remembering that it is still fairly early in the Northern Territory where the designer lives. I think they're an hour or 30 minutes behind us. So she may not have got it listed yet, but it is going up at some stage today.
Yeah, she said
Friday.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, about lunchtime. So we've got about another hour or so to go before it gets released here in Australia. So if you're looking for this pattern, it's called the Lorna Wallet. Mel has a whole heap of other ones over there as well. So this is the one that we made, and this was my sample. So you can see here, this is an optional bar, and you can get them from Mel as well, from So Creative Supplies. She has them, or you can get them from Emmeline. If you're in the States, you can get them from Emmeline Bags. So here in Australia, it's So Creative Supplies.com.au, I think. And Beck's just looking that up. She'll put that in the comments for you. And in the States, well, in Canada, is Emmeline Bags. And so for those in the States, you're probably better off getting it through Emmeline Bags. She has them on there. And it's just a trim that you put on the edge of your wallet. So I was asked in the group if I was going to be doing videos on this. At this point, no, I'm not. I would have to talk to Mel about that if she wanted me to do sew along. I am going to do an extensive review on the pattern, so everybody knows if you're curious about the pattern. The pattern is very well written, ladies. We had a lot of new people to wallet making, and they all completed it. So and not with a lot, like a little bit of help here and there, but most of them just went off ahead and done it themselves. So it's a very easy pattern to follow. It is a PDF download, so it's available to everybody worldwide. I don't know what the price point is going to be at the moment, but if you head over to the link underneath this video, you'll see what her prices are. They're very, 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 very cheap, I believe. I think they should be more expensive than what she's charging. So head over there, show her some love, grab some patterns. She's also got the Pretty Woman pattern that I reviewed in March, I believe I reviewed that. And you can have a look at what you get in the patterns there. Her patterns are pretty much written all the same. So if you're not too sure, go and have a look at that Pretty Woman evening bag clutch, I think evening bag pattern that I reviewed, which was a couple of weeks ago on our Review Weekly. You'll see it there, and you'll see how her patterns are written out, and go and purchase it. It's an awesome little wallet. It's not overly big. It will fit in your back pocket. So I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. So that it opens up, it's got invisible magnets in it, and you can put normal magnets if you want to, but it's got invisible magnets, so you can have that trim on there just by itself. And then, which you can get those invisible magnets either from Mel or myself. I have them. I think, Benita, you've got a set coming to you already. You ordered some, and that's been shipped out. Then you've got a slot to put your money in, so you can, it fits your dollars in there, so you can fit your dollars in there. Basically, then you've got 12 card slots, and it's got a little security strap. So this here has a magnetic snap on it, and you've got one down here, and that just goes over your cards.
I love that idea.
Yeah, and then you've got one on the opposite side that goes a different direction. Okay, so you've got enough room in there for 12 cards. Then you've got a little coin pouch that's attached in the center, and that's zippered. So you can see there, that's quite a decent size one. Anybody looking for this fabric as well, that's also on my website. It's a Liberty fabric, and you will need 1/2 meter of that fabric for that. So yeah, so basically, and then it's got another money slot over here. Okay, it does call for some S520. Now you get that from So Creative Supplies as well. She has that in stock and on her website. It is a different type of stabilizer. I know that we have some bag ladies on here, and you probably don't know that these stabilizers, a lot of people use them for their wallets. Not so much for bags, but more for wallets. It just gives it a nice firm feel to it. It almost feels like a, what would you say it is, Beck? A cardboard or a plastic? It's not a combination.
Yeah.
It's like a combination of cardboard plastic type thing, but it's a Vilene product, so you know it's a good product as well. So you can get the stabilizers over on her website as well. I have the Shapeflex 101 and a few other different stabilizers. My Shapeflex 101 is actually out of stock at the moment, but I'll get into that a little bit more. So that is the wallet. And yeah, so that gets released today. So if you're chasing that wallet, you would have seen a few around. Head on over to the links that are underneath the video. It takes you straight to her PayHip store where all her patterns are listed, and you can find other ones there as well. So go over, show her some love, and grab that pattern, and don't forget to share them and join her group as well, and you can share them over there, but share them with DDs as well. And just let her know where, I'm not getting any kickback for this, but just let her know where you got the pattern from, so she just can keep a track of how much came in from Darvanalee Designs. Basically, it's just the business side of things. I don't get a kickback for it at all. Alrighty, so that's what we made. Everybody, and I will share the pictures. You've seen the pictures of the group photo and stuff like that. I will start to share pictures over of the individual wallets. I'm just chasing a few up because we didn't actually get them a lot of pictures. The Mini Quilt one, they're all still working on their free motion and everything like that, so that's super exciting. I'm starting to see a few people post them up as well, so I'll share them as they come in as well. And I must admit, we had a pretty good time, and and Kath can attest to this. We actually had Beck, the bingo caller, and you sort of had to be there. And I didn't get any footage because I was laughing so much. And Lynn gave Beck a drink and forgot to put milk in it, so it was quite straight. And I can assure you,
it was fully straight.
It was. She had Bailey's, and yeah, the bingo session was funny.
It's the best bingo session I've ever been to.
Yeah, so bingo is a new calling for Beck. So she'll be, you might see her around town, like those local people. Even Kath put up their best bingo session ever. It was so funny. Yeah, just the way she was calling the numbers and all the rest of it, and then she dropped some, and Paula's saying it was hilarious as well. And then she's dropped some, and I'm laughing so much because she's dropping the numbers that she was pulling out, and she's going, pick them up, and then calling numbers, pick them up. And I'm down on the floor trying to pick them up. It was hilarious. Like I know that some of you might have had to like be there to get it, but it was actually quite funny. So Beck has a new career, bingo calling.
And I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
And we're still waiting for number 15 and 68.
No!
They are actually in there, ladies. They are actually in there. We've checked. And we weren't sure. Paula just put up there about 6 and 9.
Oh, 68.
We pulled out the number 6 or the number 9. So basically, there's no line underneath the number to let us know which way it was. So she'd pull it out and go, it's 6, but it possibly could be 9. So that was quite funny. And then the next morning, we're all down there ready to make the mini quilt. Beck wasn't there for this part. She was up doing some prep work. And some ladies went to the cafe because we're right next door to a cafe. And they went to the cafe to get their coffee. And they're all sitting there. I think it was Lynn that had the number.
Oh, it was. It was Lynn.
and the waitress walked in with the coffee and went, number 39. And all of us went, 39, 39. So, and all dry as. So it was all in monotone. It was so funny. And so as you can see, I'm still laughing. Because I keep getting these images of people, and some people got a little bit frustrated because 68 never got called. We don't know what happened to 68, but it's there now. So it is there now. We don't know what happened at the time, but it's there now. And yes, we did. We enjoyed ourselves immensely. We all had a great time. It was a great bunch of ladies. There was a lot of newbies there to quilting, and there was a lot of new bag makers as well. So it was a really good time. Lots of food, lots of drinks flowing. Not messy drunk, just having, you know, a couple of wines at the end of the day, and everybody was chit-chatting and all that sort of stuff. So while we're talking about retreat news, you would have heard me mention that Beck and I are crazy enough to run another retreat. It's been on sale for about a month.
You set the date. That wasn't my doing.
She's passing the buck to me. It was me. It was me. So basically, we're in the throes of doing another retreat, as I just said. It's 7 weeks out from today. We are selling tickets pretty fast, and we've still got some available. So to our Aussie friends that watch us on the live, head over to our Facebook page and click the events tab there, and you can send me a message if you've got any questions. I can tell you that we are doing applique, and we're making a bag. The Adventurer bag has come back into stock as well. So that's, which I will find in just a second. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that's the Adventurer bag that we're doing. Okay, that's on the Saturday. It's a backpack, and it comes to a shoulder bag. Okay, so that's what it goes to. So you can see it's quite open inside. And it's a shoulder bag and everything like that. So if you're interested in coming, and even if you're interstate, we do have people that can pick you up from the airport, and we have line machines as well for you as well. Okay, we don't pay for your airfare though. We will. I have actually asked someone if that included airfare, so that's why I'm saying that. Oh. The price does not include airfare. Bonita, I think you were chasing that. That will be listed up on the website this afternoon, so you'll be able to grab that if that's what you were chasing. So that's the bag. And we're also we're doing some applique again at this retreat, and we are doing an Australian theme. And it's all Monica Poole stuff that we're doing. So these are some of the patterns that have come in this week as well. Okay, so there's some of the ones that we're doing. So we've got a possum, we've got an emu, another possum, we've got a cockatoo as well, and we've got a frill-necked lizard, we've got kangaroos, koalas. There's the koala. He's very cute. He looks a little bit angry. Maybe he's a drop bear.
Oh, yeah.
He's a drop bear, not a koala. There we go. All the Aussies will be laughing right now because sometimes we tease people from overseas and tell them that there's drop bears, but there's not. Okay, you've got a kookaburra. I think Biz got the kookaburra.
Yes, she did.
And we've also got the echidna. The echidna is just a new one, and the cockatoo one is a new one to the line. So they will be available as well in the store. But that is what we're doing at the next retreat for those that might be interested in coming. As I said, the tickets are selling pretty quick. So I would get in sooner rather than later, because once they go, that's pretty much it. Unless someone pulls out, which is really rare. Yeah, we had one pull out for the March retreat, and that was only because surgery. She had to go in and have some surgery. She wasn't expecting to get called in so quick, and that's why she planned to come to the retreat, and that's what happened. So, yeah, so basically, if you're thinking about coming, it's $375. That includes all your meals, all your accommodation, all your patterns. The only thing we supply, this time we're supplying the bag hardware for the bag, so because sometimes it can be a bit tricky to get it. So we're supplying that. And we're looking at getting kits together for the stabilizers, but my supplier is actually out of stock of one of them at the moment. So yeah, so basically the cuckoo, the kookaburra and emu is what you ordered. And has it arrived? You're still waiting? No, they're still on their way. Yeah. They take a little bit longer to get to you for some reason, Biz. I'm not entirely sure, but they should be there pretty much any day. So yeah, so basically get in quick because those tickets do sell, and then we don't have another one until November. I was going to say October then. Until November. So, and that is pretty much already for group members that have already been to retreats, past retreat people. They have pretty much already booked those tickets. So we will only have maybe very limited numbers that will go for sale to the public. So for October. So if you're wanting to come to one of our retreats, May is probably the best one. It's a long flight for 2 birds.
Yay, Biz.
10 points for Biz. That's the best comment. That's the comment of the day. That is the comment of the day. That is awesome. Okay. Paul's laughing too. Oh, Biz, I love your sense of humour. It's awesome. Alrighty, so if you're interested in that May retreat, get in fast, ladies. It is selling. And as I said, the October one is pretty much going to be booked out before it even goes on sale. We'll only have a few tickets for that one, which is awesome. Thank you so much to all the people that have, and I know there's a few of you on here at the moment that have come along to our retreats. I really do appreciate you coming along, and I'm glad that you're having a great time and that you're actually coming back to retreats. So that says a lot to me that Beck and I are doing okay at this, and we're glad that you're liking our hospitality and having a great time. Alrighty, so enough about that. We're moving on to some shop news. Some items have come in this week. We have had a big shipment, as you just seen, of all those patterns. We'll be getting those patterns up on the website today. They will be available probably in the next 2 or 3 hours. They'll go up. So if some of you are going to bed in the morning when you wake up, if you're chasing any, they'll be going up. But we actually have a couple of new ones that have come in. So as I said, we've got the cockatoo one has come in. That's a new one. And the echidna.
That echidna is super cute.
And the frill neck lizard and possum are the other ones. We haven't had in stock before.
No.
So
brand newies. Yeah,
so these are brand. There was only 9 in the Australiana. These are all the ones that they have available. So I'll just put this up for you to see. So you can see there that we've got the echidna is a new one. The little frog guy is a new one. And we don't have any of that in stock yet because I forgot to order it. The cockatoo is a new one. And the possum is a new one here. So these ones are now all available excluding the frog. I'll be ordering that today. Silly me, forgot to order it. I thought I did, but I didn't. So they will be all available on the website for you. And we've got a couple of other extra ones that we got as well, which is T-Rex. Okay, so that's a new one that's come in. And also, this one's called Billy the Blue Whale. This one, and they've got a free tutorial on their website, pool pattern, for how to make a tote bag for that one. So there's a tutorial there for that. Beck's just frantically trying to find it. So yeah, so basically that's the newest one that we've got in. And we've also got a new bag one that's come in as well. And that's the Florence. So that's a nice little cute little bag. And I'm thinking I'm going to make that in the next couple of weeks because that's cute. I like that one. Yeah. So yeah, so they're the new things that have come in as well. And the postie was super excited this morning because he's dropped off something for me. Which is the sampler box. So I haven't opened it yet because I only got it about 15-20 minutes before we went live. Ooh, it's the French market. So it's the French one this time. Alrighty, so French market. It is Paris French market. Comes with a ton of stuff. We've got lots of little things. Ooh. So there are some spool huggers. I've been wanting to get some of these for ages. So they just wrap around your spool to stop your thread from unraveling. They're $9.98 American. So they're cute. And we've got, what else is it? What's this? Iron rest. Oh, awesome.
Wow.
We need this, Beck.
We so need that.
I needed this last week when I was doing filming. I don't know what I was thinking, and I left the iron sitting down and burnt my my iron pad. So it's an iron rest. So while the iron's hot. Cool. Awesome. Alrighty, so that's that one. So Andra, see you later. Bye, and Andra's off to bed because it's very late. That I'm keeping up past the bedtime again.
Yep.
So I've got that, and I don't know how much that one is. $10.98 American. So these are all available from the Fat Quarter Shop as well. We've got some fabric as well. This one's an exclusive by the looks of it, and it's from Fig Tree Quilts. That is very, very cute indeed. What else we got? Oh, another pair of scissors. So these ones are from Tim Holtz. Titanium snip scissors. That's awesome. We've got a pattern. That's cute. I like that pattern. And, ooh, that's nice. Bonus size pattern included. So that's just stars. That's cute. I like that one. Very nice. Awesome. And we've got, of course, we've got our barn recipe, number 12 and finishing as well. So we've got the block 12 and that. Alrighty, so awesome. I'm happy with all that. Might have some giveaways out of this box as well. Never know, never know. Alrighty, so I'm happy that that's come in. I actually thought that one got lost because it's actually late. That from what I can tell, it's a bit late. Alrighty, so that's enough about shop news and what I got in the mail. That's all I really got this week. We'll put the links down below where you can get some of those items from the Fat Quarter Shop if you're chasing them, and also the So Sampler box. That'll be down there for you as well. Now, we have a giveaway this week as well. So what we want to know, and it's open to the live and also the replay as well. What we want to know today is I'm looking for a new book to read. And I want to know who your favorite, what your favorite book is and author of that book. So I can chase it up and have a bit of a look because we're going into school holidays as of today. So we're going into our autumn break. And I'm looking for a book to read while I don't have to run around doing dancing runarounds and all the rest of it for school stuff. So our giveaway today is actually one of the Monica Poole patterns. And it is Billy the Blue Whale that we're giving away. So put in the comments right now or in the replay, if you're watching the replay, what your favorite book and author is, and I can go and suss out some new books. Alrighty, so the next thing, and that's open until, shall we leave it open a bit longer? What do you think, Beck?
Yeah, let's give them a bit of extra thinking time.
Okay, because it is book and author, we're going to give you some extra thinking time, and we're going to leave it open till for the next 37 hours, 36, 37 hours. Okay, so at 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, which is Saturday my time, basically I will go through all the comments, and I will go through all the replay comments, and I will write down everybody's name, and I will draw the winner, and then I will send this out to you. So it's just the pattern. You don't get the fabrics with it. It's just the pattern, and it is for an applique mini quilt. But you can also, there is a free tutorial on their website for the tote bag that you can see just there. Alrighty, so you've got to be in it to win it. So get commenting. Tell me what your favourite book and author is, and then that way I will have a look at some of those books, and I might have a new book to read. Okay, so last week we did not have topic of the week, but this week we are looking at, was that through So Sweetness? Was that the one through So Sweetness, Linda? Okay, there's another one, the Birth House, Amy McKay. Cool. The Light Between the Oceans. Oh, okay, they're all coming in thick and fast. There's some good books there, ladies. I think that first one that Linda put up, the sewing machine, that one is the one that it is. Yeah, that's the one that Sew Sweetness just had a book club for. I'll pop the link down below for anybody of where you can find that information through Sew Sweetness. I think it's on their blog or something like that. I haven't been part of their book club, but they apparently have a book club. And correct me if I'm wrong, Linda, is that all? Are they all sewing themed? For those ones? Did you just hear talking?
Pardon?
Did you just hear talking come through? Because the lady on
Double talking.
Okay, the lady on the speaker.
Oh no, I can hear you talking twice.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so yeah, get those comments down there, and that way I can have a look and see what we've got. And yeah, I need a new book to read, something that's a little bit So they're okay. So the Sew Sweetness ones. Okay, I'll give Sew Sweetness a bit of a plug right now. I don't normally jump on their bandwagon or anything like that, but Sew Sweetness actually has a. And Linda will correct me, and so will other people that are in her group as well will probably correct me if I'm wrong. But they have a book club happening, and I think it's once a month. They're on to their second one, and they have a project for this second one. And then they do a recap of it. So they'll have a video. Last time they invited Tamara in. And she basically, I finally got it, Beck. Beck just laughed at me because I said it right. Tamara came in as a guest presenter on their show and talked about the book and about they done a recap of the book and all that sort of stuff. And I think that one was that based on that movie, the can't think of the name of the movie that had not Kate Winslet, had the Singer Sewing Machine in it. What was that called?
Oh, The Dressmaker?
The Dressmaker. Was that book based on The Dressmaker at all, Linda? Do you know? If you do, can you just pop it up? Because I'm thinking that it was. So this week, anyway, we're, apart from the book club for Sew Sweetness, you'll find all that information over on their blog. Or you can ask Linda in the comments now and she'll be able to direct you where it's going. Because as I said, I'm not actually doing it. I've watched their shows and stuff like that because I go over and supported Tamara for being on there. And basically, yeah, I went over and had a little bit of a look. And when I actually have time, I do go over and watch some of their Social Sundays and also ask the Ask Sarah ones as well. So, alrighty. So, I don't know who that is. It's probably Brendan.
It's Brendan.
Yeah. Okay, so the topic of the week this week is English paper piecing. And this one comes via Beck. She wants to know a little bit more about the different paper piecing. So over the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to be focusing on English paper piecing, foundation paper piecing, and American paper piecing. So the first one we're looking at is English paper piecing. And it's been around since the 1700s, but it became more popular in the 1800s. So basically what happened is the earliest, I've just got some little pointers down here. So the earliest hexagon quilt, because that was the most popular one, was dates back to 1807, and that's in the United States. But it's possible the first hexagon quilt was probably made even earlier and just wasn't dated. The first pattern to be published was in 1835 in Goody's Ladies Bag, or Godey's. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's Godeys apostrophe S. And then basically it was considered as an elegant craft, and it spread quite rapidly after that. In the 1800s, paper was a luxury item. So basically they would save their envelopes, their catalogs, newspapers and all that sort of stuff and cut their shapes out of that and use that. And this became quite, it actually, the way they did that, it actually became quite easy way for historians to work out what was going on in the time of the quilts that were made and stuff like that. So it was a glimpse into the history of what was happening with that quilt at the time. And basically, because they used to leave the paper in to add a extra layer of insulation, and basically the paper would soften over time. And so if there was damage or anything like that, family members later on down received these quilts as heirlooms, and later on down the track would find these, you know, recipes and all that sort of stuff in the quilt. So that was how they did it. So good night, Ellen. Thanks for joining us. So it just gave them an insight into the early times of the the craft and stuff like that. It then became the technique found popularity in the 1920s in the United States and 30s, and it was mostly during the they would use scrap fabrics and stuff like that, and it also became very popular during the Great Depression because of lack of funds and stuff like that. So people were reusing everything. They'd use clothing, they'd use flour sacks, they'd use all sorts of stuff in their quilts. So it became more popular then. And one of the most popular patterns, and is still very popular today, is the Grandmother's Garden. So it's a basic hexagon flower. I had to write all these names down because I know what they are, but unless they're in front of me, I can't name them. So the hexagon flower, and they were sewn together then to make the Grandmother's Garden, which is the pattern. So I've actually done a little bit of English paper piecing, and it's not a UFO, ladies. It is a work in progress, so that is something different. So the one that I'm doing is the Dear Jane quilt, and I will do a little bit of a blurb on that a little bit later on. Once I've done a few more of these, I will do a topic of the week on the Dear Jane quilt. Some of you probably already know it. This one I did through paperpieces.com. It was a row of the month. And basically what they did is they sent me everything in English paper piecing. Normally it is done through foundation. A lot of people do it through foundation paper piecing. But I elected to do it through through English paper piecing. So as you can see, they have sent me, like, this is for blocks F through to 6. So they use all these templates are in it. And basically what they do is they have cut them all out and then they send them to you. And I can reuse these again. And basically, yeah, so that's some of the smaller pieces that you've got. And then you've got some bigger pieces as well. And I collected them and then started it. And I'm doing mine in blue and whites. So I've done a couple of the blocks. And these are all hand sewn together. So this one is row A, number 8. And they're 4.5-inch blocks, and I'll see if I can show you where it's joined together. So you can see there that I've hand stitched this. Can you just knock on the window and tell him to go? I can hear my husband talking out in the driveway, and he can't hear me because he's talking on the phone, and I know that he'll drop the F-bomb soon because that's the way he rolls. So yeah, so you can see there, they're all hand sewn together, and you can barely see my stitches in that. And that's not because I'm really good at it or anything. I'll tell you what my secret is. So this one here is another one, and you can see that it's, you can't see the things. And I've basted through, so you can see here, this is all sewn together, and then I've got the basted through, and you can not see the scissors in that one. And then you've got an applique one as well. So there's just these different techniques. So I fussy cut that one. This is when I was learning to fussy cut. So it's not that crush up, but I'm getting better at it. So there's some of the blocks. Now, the reason you can't see my stitches is because when I do English paper piecing, what I use, and I think I got this from another lady. I can't remember who it was, but I use this here. It's called Invisifil. And basically, I can use any colour. I'll just find one that's open. Excuse me for a minute. So the Invisifil is 100 weight. I'm pretty sure it is 100 weight. Yes, it is. So you're not even going to be able to, so I'm holding up the thread, okay, and you can't even see that. That's how, like, it's so fine. So you can see there how fine that is. Okay, so that's 100 weight thread, and that's what I use. It is really strong. That is a polyester thread, so you can see the weight, like, it takes a lot of force to break it. Okay, so that's what I'm using, and that was recommended to me by another lady. And for the life of me, I cannot remember where I seen that. I'm pretty sure it was on Google or somewhere like that. I just put up threads to use. And I'm pretty sure that a few ladies that have done it before. And I also have used a 60 weight thread as well. So I usually have one of these donuts. And you can see it's got lots of pieces in it. But I like to use the Invisifil most of all. But either one, that's a 60 weight one. So that's a little bit thicker in comparison. And I'll just get one out to show you. But this is what Sue Daly uses. So anybody that does English paper piecing will know. So you can see that's a little bit thicker in comparison. So yeah, I use either one of those. If I don't, well, I've got enough 100 weight now, but sometimes my eyes get fatigued and I don't have the color that I want to use. So I'll use the 60 weight instead. So those ones where you can probably see them a little bit better, just like there, you can actually see them, like I'm folding that down to try and find them. So you can see that a little bit better on that. Yeah, so it's hard to see anyway, but basically that's what I use. And over the week we'll be putting up different tidbits about it, different techniques that you can use. I'll be showing you stuff that Sue Daly does. I'll show you stuff that other people that I find along the way. We'll have pictures of quilts. I'll even have pictures of stuff that I've done for English paper piecing, and also things that I'm working on. So I'm probably do a couple of these because I usually do this in school holidays when I'm not going to get disturbed and I don't have a lot of work on because a lot of people go away. So that is what we're going to be looking at this week. So hopefully you will enjoy it. If you've done some English paper piecing yourself, by all means, please leave some of your pictures and your techniques that you use in our topic of the week. And again, that hashtag is hashtag DD's topic of the week. I'll be sharing that over Instagram, Facebook, and also on Stitch Talk. And as I said, if you have done something before, by all means, please do put them in the comments or make a post about it. Show us what you're working on. If you've still got something in the works. I think Katrina was doing, yeah, it was Katrina was doing a hexagon one. Yeah, she just finished it, didn't she? That big bed one, yeah. Yes. So Katrina's also done one as well. So if you go back through the group, you'll probably see hers there as well. So that is about it for us today. We have gone way over time again. We haven't got any questions that have come in this week because everybody has known that we've been away. So if you do have any questions, we've pretty much got to most of them. I think there was a few earlier on that we did miss. Basically, we will catch them, excuse me, after we're live, and we'll answer those either next week or in the comments below.
Or send it to our email address.
Yeah, and if you've got any questions and you don't want to put it in the public forum, by all means, send it to our address. There is just one thing that I did want to cover before I go. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the homeless drive that they're having here for toiletries and all that sort of stuff. I just want to say thank you to those that have already donated. A few people asked me if I had a PayPal account. I do. It's called DD's D-Stash, and Beck's going to put it into the comments right now. It's called DD's D-Stash because 10% of all my D-Stash that I'm doing in the month of April is also going to the homeless drive, and all sales on my website are excluding retreats and Etsy sales. Only on the website, that is also going to towards the drive as well. So if you purchase anything, know that 10% of your purchase price is actually going to that homeless drive. And as I said, the money that anybody has put into that D-Stash account, that will be going to that as well. So I've had 2 people donate so far, and I must say that it is an honor to have you in our presence. Thank you very much for your generosity. That money will be going towards toothpaste, shampoo, scarves, beanies, gloves, and into this backpack that they put together that they give the homeless. And it just gives them a little bit more dignity and a chance for them to help them get back on their feet and get a stable residence and all that sort of stuff. So that is my charity that I'm focusing on this year. And as I said, I'm putting 10% of my sales from my website into that, and also from my D-Stash, because we are D-stashing a lot of end of bolt and stuff as well. So that's hence the name of the PayPal. So if you want to donate, by all means do to that, and we will really appreciate that. As I said, I love the generosity of people, and they've been putting their money into that already, and I thank you for that. I do really appreciate it. Some of you have blown us away. So yeah, and that's about it from us this week. We've had a massive 2 weeks, and we still had a pretty big show, and we've gone over time again. And it's looking like this is how long we're going to be online, ladies. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us again. And Beck said she's got something.
And thank you once again to Leah Lynch for...
Oh, yes, Leah, thank you very much for your super chat too. So, yeah, that greatly appreciated and very shocked. Thank you. So I really do appreciate it. Love that you participated in that. And as I said, we will see you all again next week. We are finished for today. And thank you. Hello, King of Toe. We're almost finished. She's coming. Beck's off to drive my husband to Brisbane. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for hanging around for the full hour and 20 minutes. We do appreciate you being here. Thank you very much, Leah, for the super chat. And I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.